Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Michael Maney begins now.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. With talk of a state election in the air, one of Tasmania's most well-known politicians is set to go it alone. After being rejected by the Labor Party, former leader David O'Byrne will run as an independent in the seat of Franklin, saying he still has something to offer.
Labor runs through his veins, but David O'Byrne says he's found a new political course.
This has not been an easy decision for me. It's been a very difficult time, but I'm very excited about what the future holds.
Weeks after being rejected by the party he once led, the Franklin MP will stand as an independent. He says he's running not for revenge, but for what he can offer.
The whole range of issues that they need better representation on, I think I can be that representation.
With the hung parliament on the cards, Mr O'Byrne could be a powerful figure if re-elected.
I'll be straight with people and I think we need a level of maturity and stability.
It's a potential blow to the opposition's chances of returning to power in an expanded parliament. While not naming him, a former colleague today making the case against Mr O'Byrne.
And the only way to get rid of this government is to vote Labor. Vote for the alternative government.
Government MPs seizing on the news.
Quite frankly, it's indicative of where they're at internally.
Becca White, as leader for the Labor Party, promised that she would unite the party. She's clearly failed spectacularly.
While also forced to talk down chatter of an early poll, despite the Premier floating it 48 hours ago, hoping the Premier, John Tucker and Lara Alexander can sort the situation.
We're not going to give a rolling commentary on that. We'll wait for those two individuals to meet with the Premier on Friday.
He's supporting a new arrangement with the independents. He's made that very clear.
The Greens concerned about the future of key parliamentary work. The ramping inquiry is due to hear from senior bureaucrats and the Health Minister this week. That could be cancelled if the House of Assembly is dissolved.
We're getting very close to drawing up the report and making recommendations, so all of that work would get shelved.
I'm scheduled to appear later this week and looking forward to that, and for those other witnesses that are maybe appearing.
It seems a long week is ahead. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
The state government has introduced new measures designed to prevent ambulance ramping across Tasmania. A new direct-to-waiting room pathway will now operate in hospitals, designed to free up paramedics.
Taking the pressure off Tasmania's emergency departments, the government introducing a new plan to enhance the flow of patients to EDs and get paramedics back on the road faster. Those with minor injuries and illness will be moved to the waiting rooms of emergency departments, allowing paramedics to immediately get back to responding to emergencies.
We know that Ambulance Tasmania transports about 90,000 people to Tasmania's emergency departments every year. We also know that about 5,000 of those presentations are for minor or mild illnesses or injuries.
A new online tool also being introduced to show Tasmanians the current waiting times at their local ED.
Obviously, we want people who are critically unwell or seriously injured to still come to the emergency department.
But those that aren't can choose a better time to visit or find an alternative pathway for their needs. The new measures follow recommendations from the independent review of Tasmania's major hospital emergency departments.
There's no one silver bullet. We're delivering initiative after initiative after initiative to deliver better health outcomes for Tasmanians.
The Greens unconvinced.
It seems like yet another Band-Aid solution. We've had so many of them announced over the years.
The state's leading health services union, HACSU, described the Health Minister's announcement as a positive for paramedics, saying it will alleviate pressures in relation to ambulance ramping, but won't fix patients waiting to be seen at hospitals. Melinda Ogden, 7 Tasmania News.
Launceston City Council will vote this week on whether the transfer of ownership to UTAS Stadium to the state government. The full scope of works for the $130 million project unveiled at the ground today.
What we're looking at is on the western side new player and corporate facilities, as well as some infill seating, and on the eastern side we're looking at much better spectator facilities and entry into the ground for spectators on that side of the ground.
Construction is expected to begin late this year. While most Tasmanians slept, triathletes spent their Sunday morning vying for a spot on the world stage. A Tasmanian pro making the state proud with a podium finish in the Ironman 70.3 despite issues with his bike.
Plunging into Tasmania's Ironman 70.3, some of the world's toughest triathletes braving a choppy River Derwent. The 1.9-kilometre swim, child's play compared to a 90-kilometre bike course.
With the weather on top of the hills and the elevation gain that we have here, it was a tough day.
The uphill battle even more challenging for Tasmanian Cameron Worth, a deflated tyre puncturing his second-place status.
On a Targo Hill, the last time up, it just went down and yeah, so then I really had no choice but to just ride in on a flat tyre.
The indoor transition, a brief escape from the elements before legging the last 21 kilometres. Though this year's field of nearly 800 is significantly smaller compared to 1,200 last year, the competition is just as fierce. Triathletes vying for 50 World Championship qualifying spots. Western Australia's Nick Thompson first over the line in 3 hours and 54 minutes. An impressive feat against an upset stomach.
I wasn't really able to hold in much of the carbohydrate I was trying to take.
Did you throw some up?
Oh yeah, all day.
Mitch Kibbe and Worth rolling in shortly after. Meanwhile, there were no surprises when world champion Chelsea Sodaro took top spot in the women's, clocking in at 4 hours and 18 minutes.
I had the pleasure of running close to the men's leader for a while and was really impressed with his sportsmanship and grit, and had a lot of fun.
Australia's Grace Thick and Belgium's Han de Vet by her side on the podium, soaking up their glory with a champagne shower. Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
Local parents are crying out for more childcare support. In December, the Huon Valley Council's largest centre had 237 people waiting for a position. A stressful situation for Tasmanians like Gabby, trying to maintain work during a cost of living crisis. Her name down at 30 different centres.
We're on wait list as, you know, an hour away from where we are.
State Labor vowing to change the cards if elected.
We think that the state government has a role to play in helping to establish new care services. It's good for working families, it's great for household budgets, and it's excellent for childhood development.
Youth Minister Roger Jensch says the federal government is responsible for childcare and funding and availability, and its investments in these services have not kept up with demand. Massive crowds have enjoyed the third day of Festivali at City Park in Launceston, after a capacity crowd packed in to see cult classic Vanessa Amorosi last night. Revellers enjoyed bright blue skies for the final day of the annual event. The festival giving food and beverage stall holders a shot in the arm.
It's been pretty steady, yeah, it's been good fun, lots of good people and lots of families, and yeah, things have been really good.
Beautiful Girls took to the stage this afternoon to entertain the crowd before Festivali wound up this afternoon. Around 28,000 ticket holders attended across the weekend. The Jack Jumpers have strengthened their grip on third spot after a dominant win over the Adelaide 36ers. 26 points from Jack McVeigh helping Tasmania to a 109-86 victory as they begin to build consistency ahead of the playoffs.
Win and keep marching towards finals. It was a simple equation for the Jackies. Facing an in-form Adelaide also still in the playoff hunt, it was tight early on. Jack McVeigh keen to make a statement.
They leave McVeigh alone and he makes them pay.
Tasmania's rebound game strong at both ends of the court. A late run giving them a 10-point lead at quarter time.
You have 13, you need a good percentage. Sixers don't have that as Krislovic has the answer at quarter time.
Alex Starling tried to get Adelaide moving, but the home side seemed to have all the answers. The lead nudging 20 points in the second quarter.
Well, they've come out and executed not too bad. A couple of buckets, but it's those looks.
Trey Kell a lone hand for the 36ers in the first half. The Jackies taking a 12-point lead into the main break. Points kept flowing for Tasmania in the third as McVeigh continued to cause trouble.
McVeigh from outside, cans another one.
As Will Magnay showed his appreciation for the fans in a unique way, Milton Doyle and co enjoyed slicing through Adelaide's defence. The 36ers unable to constrain Tasmania's offence.
He even reposted it to his story. What? Crawford with a circus shot!
Down by 14 with a quarter to play, the 36ers were looking to save their season. The Jackies, though, were on song.
McDonald thought about it. Forces his way inside and the friendly roll.
Led by 26 points from Jack McVeigh, the Jack Jumpers season is marching on.
Oh, cookies! Slap the grass at least!
Players and fans finding plenty to smile about. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's batters failed to make the most of their opportunities on day 2 of their Sheffield Shield clash against Queensland. 6 of them scored more than 20 runs, but none were able to pass 40. The Tigers eventually bowled out for 219. However, there's still a chance of winning. Gabe Bell and Billy Stanlake ripped through the home side's top order. The Bulls slumping to 5 for 50 in the second innings.
That one is out and he's got the 3rd wicket.
Oh, bowled him! How about that from Gabe Bell? Straight through him, off stump.
At stumps, Queensland were 8 for 114, leading by 177 runs. Launceston cyclist Georgia Baker has claimed another medal in the UCI Track Nations Cup, teamed with Alex Manley in the women's Madison. Baker put in a massive effort in the final sprint lap worth double points, the Tasmanian flying out of 3rd place into 2nd, clinching silver.
Second place, then it's Australia. Georgia Baker up around the outside. If she can get to the line first, she'll get 2nd. That's a fantastic result for Australia.
The team just 4 points behind Great Britain. Australian tennis player Omar Jasika has claimed the men's singles title in the Burnie International. The 26-year-old matched up against compatriot Alex Bolt. Jasika dominating the first round but losing the second. Determined to redeem himself, Jasika came back stronger, winning the final set 6-3.
Good evening. Hobart, a very mild 16 degrees today. 10 degrees warmer in Launceston, 26, Devonport 21 and Burnie 22. Further across the island, a summery day in St Helens, 30 degrees, King Island 29, Friendly Beaches 27, Luncheon Hill and Ouse both 26. Flinders Island recorded 25, 22 for Low Head, Maria Island and Lyowini, Strawn 21, Grove 17 degrees. The satellite shows overcast clouds seen over the west and south today. Clear and sunny skies were welcomed about the far northeast with partly cloudy skies elsewhere. A large spiral of mid to high level cloud associated with the low is nearing the far southwest of Queensland. Tomorrow a high near southwestern WA will extend a ridge over southern WA and southern SA. West to southwesterly winds 15 to 25 knots, winds reaching up to 30 knots at times, about the north in the late morning and about the south and lower east from around noon tomorrow. Southwesterly swells likely to build to 4 metres. A strong wind warning has been issued tomorrow between Wineglass Bay to Low Rocky Point and also between Sandy Cape to east of Flinders Island to include Bank Strait and Franklin Sound. Taking a look now at Monday's forecast, Hobart partly cloudy 23, Dover a shower or 2 21, 21 also for Ouse with partly cloudy conditions. Remaining warm in Launceston with fine and sunny 28 degrees, sunny also in Devonport 24, possible early showers in Scottsdale with 25. Sunny in Burnie and Stanley, showing an expected top of 22, a shower or 2 for Strawn, 18's the maximum. Late showers for St Helens 26, much the same for Swansea and Ross 25. Tuesday, showers in the northeast extending to the west in the afternoon. Wednesday, showers about the west, most likely fine elsewhere. Thursday, light showers about the northeast, light winds with afternoon sea breezes expected about coastal areas. Further north now, tomorrow Alice Springs, the nation's top with 43, fine in Darwin and Broome 33, partly cloudy in Brisbane, Adelaide and Melbourne. Right now in Hobart, it's cloudy, actually cloudy statewide, Launceston 25, Devonport 20. Michael, thank you for pointing out that tonight I look like a yellow wiggle.
I think a lot of people will probably think the same, Kaya. Thank you for that. Well, finally tonight, an adorable blue penguin chick has been welcomed at an aquarium in California. The New Zealand native is the first of its kind to hatch on the west coast of the United States. The sex of the chick isn't yet known. The aquarium will announce that soon. Pretty cute. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Kim will be back tomorrow night. Good night.